Stay in the demon world. This was Sam's home. This was the place Diana and the entire rebellion had fought to protect and save. My time here made this world precious to me, and I wanted to take care of it as Diana would have. My heart gave a gentle thump, letting me know that I had made the right decision. Sam smiled brightly and nodded. His brothers and their wives nodded, accepting my answer, but the rebel leaders lowered their heads in respect to me and Sam. I quickly turned to them and smiled, knowing that they needed to be there and help us rebuild the world we were left with. We hope all of you will help us rebuild this world. Diana would have wanted that. A lump in my throat almost blocked me from finishing that sentence. It was deeply painful to refer to Diana as dead, as she gave her life for me, but the world needed a leader, and it now had a strong group of people ready to lead it. The 4 rebel leaders looked to each other and nodded.
We will do our best. Thank you for trusting us.
What are we gonna do first? We could do all kinds of really amazing things, like rebuild the forests. No, wait, have a party. Wait, no!
Oh, Faye, you're so hilarious.
Faye, quiet.
Oh, lighten up. The war is over. We have a reason to celebrate.
I smiled, happy to know that the world was in good hands. However, Faye took a breath and looked to me with a small smile before forming a small lavender-colored lily in her hands.
Before we turn you into a demon, though, since Diana is... well, she wanted to give you this.
I stared at the flower in surprise. What was it? I reached out and took it into my hands, practically feeling magic and energy run through it. It's lovely.
A flower of Lilith. But how can that be?
They were said to have died out generations ago.
I continued to stare at the flower, entranced by its spell. It was such a gorgeous-looking flower. I could barely tear my eyes away from it.
Put it behind your ear. I think she said it was magical or something.
I tilted my head before nodding and lifting it to tuck it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt mist circle my head and form into a flower crown of lavender lilies that I could see in the reflection of the remains of the stained glass window. The way everyone looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear already.
Whoa.
Amazing!
I looked to Sam, seeing him grin from ear to ear at the sight of me. I blushed, feeling somehow timid with the flower crown on my head, but happy to know that it had rendered my husband speechless. However, as I lifted my hand to the flowers, feeling their soft petals, I could feel the world fade to a white color. Huh? From the direction of where Diana had fallen, a figure stepped towards me, bathed in light. I covered my eyes with my arm for a moment before seeing who it was. Diana? With a smile, Diana stopped in front of me and gently ran her hand along the crown over the petals of the flowers. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, unbelieving that I was seeing her.
I have to say, I'm shocked. But I'm very happy knowing my world is in good hands.
Diana. Diana chuckled, stopping me from whatever I was planning on saying, before cupping my chin to make me gaze into her eyes.
Promise me that you will take care of the I mean, the king of the demon world. A king is no one without his queen. And in the demon world, the queen is the ultimate power.
Oh, come on, you make me blush. I felt tears form and drip down my cheeks, but I nodded. Something in my heart lifted, and I felt at ease with everything. I had made the right choice. With a smile, Diana tilted forward and kissed my forehead beneath the crown before stepping away.
May you be happy with your choice, dear. And thank you.
Diana slowly turned and began to walk away further into the light of the area. Sado, who was also bathed in light, slowly appeared and waited for Diana with an arm out for her. Diana took his hand and smiled up at him before looking back to me, nodding, and walking away. As they both vanished into the light, the world around me reappeared with everyone staring at me in shock.
Whoa, hey. Are you alright?
Aww. What? Huh? I quickly looked at Sam before lifting my hand to my cheek, feeling the trails my rogue tears left behind over my skin. I wiped my eyes and cheeks before nodding, laughing softly. I'm fine, sorry. I smiled brightly, taking in a breath, and looked to Sam while taking his hands. Let's rebuild this world together. Together.
Well, you did it! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out. Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end, whether it was for the better or otherwise. Oh, crap! I'm sorry. I'm glad everything worked out, Your Highness. Did you ever imagine that you'd end up being a queen?
No. Kind of like this ending, though. Actually, this is my preferred ending, really.
That is so fantastic, though! Think about it. You are technically the second human to become a full-fledged demon and become royalty. Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to...
No.
You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I guess I could tell you.
Yeah, you better.
After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority. You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the demon lord was what brought the entire world together. Because of the tragedy of Diana and Sero, you and Sam took up the throne of the entire demon world. You were transformed into a succubus and ruled at Sam's side. Many demons knew you were a human first, but didn't dare speak ill of you, since you were the queen and the wife of the fabled Lord of Dragons.
Aw, yeah.
Huh? You don't know the legend? Well, it's an old tale, but to basically sum it up, when a demon has a pure heart full of true strength and love, he will possess the power to conquer and consume the power of a dragon, making him the Lord of Dragons.
What is he, the Dragonborn? Dovahkiin!
Man, guess you got lucky, huh? You're pretty much married to the strongest demon, not just in the demon world, but all 5 worlds. Anyways, you and Sam were able to bring the world together and bring about an everlasting peace. With the rebel leaders beside you to help you along the way, you both helped shape the world for a bright future. And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway. Since you rule the demon world now, how the demon world runs is entirely up to you. I'm sure Sam will happily walk along with you on your new adventure. After all, while demon marriage is entirely up to you, ruling an entire plane of existence is a whole new ballgame. But I'm sure you can handle it. Huh? How do I know? Well, I'm pretty confident that you'll rock the queen thing. Take a look for yourself.
To become a demon was an entirely new adventure for me, one I was very eager to go through. The ritual involved in turning me into a succubus involved candles and lilies and magic spinning through the air and threads of power. Being that I was a seemingly endless cask of energy, going through the ritual was surprisingly easy to do. I was allowed to keep my memories of the human world, but my skin became etched with dark lavender markings. What really surprised everyone were my horns. Instead of having one on each side of my head, I had 2. One each side curling around like a ram's horns, and the second pair protruding up like a mini bull's horns. Apparently, it was the mark of a truly powerful demon. I was very proud of myself for the accomplishment, regardless. The wedding was even stranger, however. There were so many things involved that I could barely wrap my head around it, but the one thing I was able to remember was orbs forming in front of our chests and an ethereal green and lavender light connecting both. Was this the binding of souls? From that day on, I could almost sense whatever emotion Sam was feeling. I was able to find him anywhere and know that he was alright. It became a major asset as we became king and queen of the Abyssal Plains. It took me a long period to get used to the feeling of being royalty. I had responsibilities, duties as the matriarch of an entire world, and it frightened me beyond anything. However, the touch of Sam's hand in mine always managed to dissolve my fears. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what had happened before I became a demon. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Sam. To think that I was married to the Lord of Dragons. Apparently, it was a very powerful title to own, and I happened to be in love with the man who carried it. A title like that, I was sure, carried a large amount of responsibility. Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together, no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, dragon, it didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. The memory of my own power tingled through me every time I grew confident, eagerly reminding me that I had strength of my own. I would never let anyone come between me and Sam ever again. The role of queen quickly became one of stress and moral questioning. There were always 10 or 20 issues every day to deal with, a dozen more to look into, and hundreds more still to simply hear about. The guest room I was once human in became an escape from my duties, while the bed Sam and I shared in our master bedroom was obnoxiously large. I felt more comfortable in the peace of the smaller bed I had once claimed for a week. There were even times I would glamour myself human once more and simply sleep, since demons didn't need sleep. I was constantly working, but it was nice on the rare occasion to shut my eyes and let myself become lost in a dream world once more. Sometimes Sam would join me. It was adorable, remembering his sleeping face, a goofy grin, hair ruffled and wild, all in all peaceful. As much as we were perfectly fine being demons, it became a treat to indulge in the feelings of having human forms, especially not having horns to adjust for when lying down. I can imagine how that's a pain, especially Sam's. They stick out so much. Despite the danger of closing one's eyes in the demon world, I was confident that we were safe. I let the memories of my past flutter around in my mind as I lay in bed, slowly easing myself from the dream world and back into reality. When my eyes fluttered open, I could only smile at the sight beside me. Remaining in my human form just a while longer, I slowly sat up and stared at the sleeping Lord of Dragons, feeling waves of contentment and joy rush through me at the sight. As my eyes traveled up, I took notice of the lily on the nightstand. It was Diana's lily, and it was the only fresh decoration in the room, in remembrance of the past. It was in a beautiful vase created by a demon craftsman, decorating the nightstand perfectly. Because of its magical nature, it was still alive and looked as freshly bloomed as the day I received it. Despite it being a bittersweet day, Sam and I cherished the lily and cared for it a lot. It was a physical memory of a strong chapter in my life, and I felt blessed to have it still. I let out another sigh before gently nudging Sam. Sam? Sam, it's almost noon. Come on. When Sam didn't move, I simply chuckled. He was indeed a deep sleeper. I gently leaned in and kissed Sam's cheek, hoping to break the spell of sleep on him with true love's kiss. So freaking corny. It's time to get up, Sam.
5 more minutes.
I could only laugh before crawling further onto the couch and sitting beside him. Aren't you on the bed? While breakfast was waiting, Sam deserved to sleep a little longer. He had been working hard as the king, so it was no surprise to see him struggle to get up. I rustled Sam's hair a bit, making him groan, and pushed my hand off tiredly, only spurring me to laugh harder. As I did, Sam finally opened an eye and stared up at me, an exhausted glaze over his eye. I covered my mouth and giggled, a little apologetic for waking him up with my laughter. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Sam shook his head and yawned, stretching his arms up and shutting his eyes, before opening them again and lazily looking up at me from his pillow.
Morning, doofus.
Morning, jerk. Morning, Sam. I think we may have overslept. Sam gave me a toothy grin before gently pulling me down to lay beside him. What, Sam? I was silenced by Sam nuzzling my shoulder and pulling me close to cuddle against my body. My face began to feel warm as I felt his warmth around me.
We'll do our duties later. I want to stay here for a while.
Okay. I took the moment in before nodding and wrapping my arms around him, nuzzling his chest. Sam smiled and kissed my head, relaxing into the embrace. He was perfect in my arms, and nothing could have been better than being in his arms. It was like lying in paradise. Did you have a good sleep?
Mm-hmm. You?
Mm-hmm. Our words became simple, but our embrace only intensified our love for each other. The bed became like a cloud, and the room almost lost its shape in my eyes as all I could focus on was Sam.
I love you. You know that, right?
I love you too.
I mean it. I love you and care about you so much.
I looked up at Sam, seeing the love he spoke of burn brightly in his eyes as he locked his gaze with mine. I felt my heart beating wildly in my chest before leaning up and nuzzling my forehead to his with a peaceful and happy smile. And I you, Almaris, more than anyone will ever know. There was nothing more that needed to be said. Our love was simple but powerful enough to move continents. Our love may have seemed plain at a glance, but within our hearts burned a flame of our devotion and passion for one another. I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Sam lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. No matter what, we would always find each other. We would always wind up back in each other's arms, and we would fly through every obstacle in our way on the wings of our love. And that was my perfect happily ever after. Alright, and that's the end of that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Keep an eye out for some new stuff coming around the corner. Enjoy the music. I know I will.
you